So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make changes in the layout of a template. So this is the template I'm starting with, and what I want to do is I'm going to show you some of the steps I went to make this template this infographic. So going back to our original template, with changing the layout, I don't have to change everything. That's one of the keys to choosing a good template. Is something that at least has most of the general properties that you want. So this one has several things that are really useful. When I'm looking at my data, I have this is the data I'm going to make my infographic with. I have 3 columns and I have 6 rows counting my headers. And this one has that generally has that. It doesn't have quite enough rows, but it has 3 columns. It has a couple of headers. So this will be something I can work with. I'm not doing it from scratch. So the first thing I'm going to do is I like to be able to print this, and I'm not going to be able to print it very easily this size, this kind of awkward size. So I'm going to resize it. So I'm going to go up under resize, and I'm going to switch it to inches. I'm going to make it 8.5 by 11. So it's a standard American size paper in portrait form. So now I have I have the right size background to work with. I have the right size canvas to work with. So now I'm going to make a few changes so this works better as far as layout, and then we'll look at color in just a second. So I'm going to just shift a couple things around. I'm going to shift this over here. This over here. So the biggest problem is I have all my things in the middle here are too crowded. I'm not using my space. So I'm going to select all of these and just move them to the side. I'm just kind of getting things generally where I want them, and I'll make bigger changes later. I'll move these up here a little bit. And I need to make these boxes bigger. So what I'm going to do is select this one. I'm just going to pull this one this way. And I'm going to do the same thing here. Now, it look about the right size, but I want to be sure I can just pick this one up, lay it on top, and I see that I got it pretty close. The bottom's a little bit not quite there. Then when I get it back, I'll just put it back, and now I know I've got 2 evenly sized side boxes, and it does a pretty good job of lining them up. You can see my little red line, so I can make sure I got it exactly right. So I have 2 evenly sized boxes. Now, what I'm going to do is reposition some of these in the middle, and what I can do so I don't, one of the problems you have if I select this one, let's say if I drag and select, I'm getting the box too. So prevent me from accidentally moving things, I'm going to click on this one and I'm going to lock it down. And what that does is means that I can't do anything with it. It's going to stay exactly the way it is. And I can always unlock it, but now if I select, the box is not selected because it's locked. I'm going to move these over to the middle a little bit. And I'm going to select these and move them to the middle. And I have more or less the layout I want. I think maybe I need to go a little taller. So I'm going to unlock this box. I'm going to move it up a little bit. And I'm going to unlock this box and I'm going to do the same thing. Alright, then for now, and you see it when I get close, you see the little pink line going between, it tells me they're the same height. So now I'm going to select both by holding the shift key down. I'm going to lock them both down so I won't accidentally move them. And we'll work on shifting other things in a minute. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to choose a background and have what colors I want to work with. So to choose a background, there's 3 different options of this. I can just change the color. Right here, I've got different colors I can work with. These are colors I added in. We'll talk about how I got those in a minute. You can also choose a theme, and if you choose a theme, it will change the background also. I'm not going to choose a theme for this one. But I can choose, so I can just change the color itself. If I want a different color, I have more colors here I can choose from. Another option, I go under Elements and choose Background, and here I have tons of different backgrounds. These are just showing you some of the backgrounds that you can choose. So you can choose all kinds of different backgrounds here. You can look for things. For example, let's say since this is a sports thing, let's look for baseball. Let's see what it comes up with. So I got lots of different ones. I'm going to stick with just baseball, or if I wanted to do something more with sports in general, I could look up some different ones here. Maybe they're related to both. skiing is not really related to both, but you get that general idea. Soccer is not. So I could do that also. And then the third option is I can go find an image. I can bring in an image, or I can look for an image. Let's say I look for a field. Let's do a sports field. Alright, and I can choose something that might work well. So I'm probably I got a football field I could choose from. I will probably choose something that's going to go well for the whole thing. So let's do that one. Alright, so there's a nice green field. Now to get it set as the background, if I click on it, right here there's replace page background. So it's going, whatever my image is, it will replace the whole background with that image. Okay. So now if you notice, these guys get lost in the shuffle here because they're really dark. So I can make a couple of changes on this. One thing I can do with this, I can make, since I'm selected on my background here, I'm like an image, I can make adjustments. So I could reduce the opacity. I can make it so it fades out more, which I'm probably going to, it'd be kind of nice for this particular one. It still gives me that nice grass look, but I'm not having it so it's I can still see everything that I'm working with. Alright, so there's what I'm choosing background. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have some figure out some colors that work for me. Now since I'm doing the NFL and Major League Baseball, what I can do, I'm going to just look for their logos. And instead of having these as my header, I'm going to replace those with the logos. So I'm going to first bring in the NFL. I'm just going out and copying and pasting them from a website. I found the NFL logo. Now, even though I just copy and paste it in, I can also remove that background so it'll work a little better. So that's I'm selecting on it. Does a great job. Put the background out. Now I've got the NFL logo here. And I'm going to do the same thing with the Major League Baseball. I'm going to copy and bring that in. All I just went to a website and found it. Paste it in. This one, I don't even know if I need to remove the background. In fact, I'm going to just leave it as is. So I got nice little headers here. I'll line them up. There's Major League Baseball on this side. And this side I have the NFL. You notice the color scheme is pretty similar to both red and blue. So what I'm going to do is just choose one color for one color for the other. So I'm going to go with red for the baseball one. So it's got red, and I'm going to go blue for the NFL. And I can use the actual colors in here. So what I'm going to do, let's say I'm going to change the line here. Remember I locked it, so I have to unlock it. So I'm going to go change the border line here, and I'm going to choose, I could use one of these colors, that's it, or if I want that exact color, say the red, I can choose a little eyedropper, drop it on there, and now I've got these two match, which is nice. So let me do the same thing with the NFL. I'm going to go choose this one, but unlock it because I locked it, and then I'm going to choose the border, choose an eyedropper, and I'm going to choose the blue. That's part of it. Alright, so I got two matching things. I'm going to lock that back down. I found that locking things helps a lot because then I don't have to change things. So I've got a nice background. I got these match up well, these match up well. And since I'm going to go up here, I'm going to change this to be MLB. And we'll move it around a little bit. And I'm going to change this to be NFL. And I can keep those colors if I want to, but I'm going to change them so that things are matching a little better. Alright. And to get them to match, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here. I'm going to click on it. Now, this is actually what's called, we have a shape around the text. So actually, if I just added more letters, it would give more. So I'm going to go to it would give more space. So I'm going to go to shape, and I'm going to do a white here because I'm going to use a darker color for that shape fill. And I'm going to use that same one I just did here and fill it in. So those match up nicely. And I can make that bigger, which is kind of nice to fill in my space here. And I'm going to do the same thing over here with the NFL. I'm going to go down to my shape. I'm going to put in white because then I'm going to have a dark color there. And then I'm going to go shape fill. And I'm going to use the same thing I just did down below. So those match up. And I'll make that one. So I got a nice NFL, and I can make this middle one bigger if I wanted to. And I'll rotate so it's more equal. Alright, so I've made some color changes. I've locked down my boxes so I have to work with it. And next thing I'm going to do is go through and we're going to work on fixing the elements, aspects of each one of these.